I did basically ambushes. I was in the 101st Airborne Division in the 327th, and we were around the way. So I was a what they call a grunt in the 101st Airborne Division, and we pulled ambushes just about every night. And then for stand down, we would go back to a fire base and guard the fire base for about a week, and then go back out into the field. And that was my life for about a year. I worked with a lawyer out of Boston. Actually, he was the head counsel for, I don't know if you remember when they had this big thing about concussions in football. And they were working through that issue, and he was basically the spearhead to do that. So I got hooked up with him. And I really can't remember who directed me there, but he initially got my 70% rating. And then I tried a couple of times on my own to increase the rating with filling out all the claim forms, and was denied both times. And my wife actually was watching TV. No, she was going through the internet, and she saw this, I'll call it an advertisement for Trajector, and she says, "You should do this." And I hemmed and hawed for a little while, and I said, "Yeah, let's give it a shot." And we did, and we were so glad we did. It started, and I can't remember the lady's name. She was very polite, very interested. And we started with the information that I had, sending it to Trajector. And then they put me on a team. And again, unless I looked through my files, I could remember the names of the people. But they were all very, very helpful. So I kept sending in the information as I got it. And once I had all the information sent in, they worked on it, investigated it, and I got a packet that was like about a half-inch thick. And I was just blown away. I went through it briefly, and I said, "Holy moly, this is unbelievable." And I mean, they cited cases, cited the issues with different diseases like diabetes, kidney failure, all that. And that's what was sent in to the VA. Surprisingly quick, honestly. Once it was sent in, then I was asked to do a few things as far as tests, hearing tests, blood work, for the sake of calling it a psych test, I guess you'd call it. Also, issues, diabetes, liver failure, kidney failure. And once those tests were all done, it's interesting because I ended up getting my first check before I got my letter. And here I have this check. I'm saying, "What is this for?" I had no idea. And then the letter came about 2 weeks later. Flabbergasted, I guess, how easy it was to do it. I relatively was only involved in giving them the information, and they took that information and they sliced it and diced it and did everything they did with it. And I was a relief, I guess, is one of the feelings I had in getting that letter and not knowing, whether it would work or not, the process.
Sure,
And
sure.
it worked. It worked very well. It's fantastic. I jumped at it right away. I mean, if they're going to give me 100% rating, and along with that, my wife gets insurance. There are a lot of benefits involved. Uh, it felt great. And I think that business model worked very well. Um, I set up my payments, which they agreed to, without a problem, and off and running, I guess. I would give you a high praise, guaranteed. And I've already done it, actually, to a couple of people who weren't even in the VA, but were in Vietnam. And there was a sense of some people that, I don't want to deal with the VA. They just want to keep their regular medical and whatever. And I talked to him, and once I saw, what was happening with me, and the success I had with Trajector,